Everyone, Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International with another very exciting live video update tonight. Now, of course, the big news, especially from Victoria, it's now come out that the curfews that have been imposed in Melbourne by none other than dictator Dan Andrews himself have absolutely no basis in any medical advice whatsoever. None. Okay, Daniel Andrews claims that it was there to help police, but now even the police have come out and said, well, hang on, we didn't request it either. And even if they had, since when do the police dictate lawmaking policies? I mean, Daniel Andrews, mate, you've got to pick a line and stick to it, buddy. You keep chopping and changing and wavering all over the place. Now, this, of course, is on top of good old dictator Dan's completely unrealistic, he called it roadmap, let's call it a mud map for recovery, okay, and reopening the state, and it's left people completely dejected, and there's just an absolute overwhelming lack of support for Dan Andrews at the moment as the leader of the state, as well there should be. Now, don't forget, this all comes on top of the fact that the Australian Defence Force has also confirmed that, yes, they most assuredly offered to help with the whole quarantine situation, but none other than Dan Andrews himself said, no, don't need your help, got it all under hand. And this, of course, is exactly why Victoria has had the numbers that it has done, especially in the past few months. It seems that as every day goes by, Dan Andrews just digs himself a bigger hole. So Dan, if you're watching this, mate, I know I've been harsh on you. I've called you a coward before. I've called you conniving before. But mate, everyone makes mistakes, so I'm here to help. I've got 3 lovely shovels right here for you. And I'll tell you what, buddy, if you keep going the way you are this week, you're going to need all 3 of them. Okay? Now, it does remind me of a quick joke, people. How do you confuse Dan Andrews? Show him 3 shovels. Tell him to take his pick. Hey, we've got to have a bit of fun with this. We really do. All right, so moving on, some other really super exciting news. Okay, it's just come across my desk. I've seen it from 3 different sources. I haven't been able to confirm or verify it yet. It'll play itself out one way or the other in the next couple of days. But the news is that the Treasurer, the State Treasurer, Victoria State Treasurer, Tim Pallas, is rumoured to be ousting Dan Andrews this weekend. And if that's what's happening, the information that goes with that is that the businesses are going to be opening back up by the end of this month, which is absolutely huge. And I urge everybody, let's help to make this happen. Continue to bombard your members of parliament with letters of complaint about Dan Andrews. And if you want to tack on the end, support for this rumour, support for Tim Pallas or anybody else for that matter, taking over, ousting Dan Andrews and opening things back up at the end of this month. This really can happen. Now, please, if any of you are concerned that, oh, look, Mike, writing letters and emails, it doesn't do anything, we're beyond all that. Let me assure you, it most definitely does work. For any of you who remember, just before Dan gave his speech on Sunday, the previous week, okay, Jim Penman, who's the franchisee for all the Jim's franchises, Jim's Mowing, all that sort of stuff, he was saying, right, enough is enough. There's no reason why our franchisees, especially our gardening and maintenance and those sort of guys, landscapers, all that stuff, why they can't be out there. They're on their own. They're working outdoors. There's no reason why they can't be working. He urged all of his franchisees to start taking action against the government for their losses, and lo and behold, not even a week later, Dan Andrews in his speech on Sunday came out and specifically addressed those particular outside gardening maintenance type jobs and said those would be the first to start back again once restrictions are lifted. Okay, so complaining and making your voice heard most assuredly does have an effect. Okay, so please don't think anything else. Now, I spoke to another retailer just today, okay, a guy that I know in one of the major shopping centres, and I was like, wow, you've opened back up. He said, yeah, we've just opened up today. I'm like, how the hell did you manage that? He said, again, similar thing. Our franchisor complained to the government and petitioned to be allowed, given an exemption, allowed to open back up, and that was granted. So right now, especially if you are in business, if you're a business owner, a franchisee, franchisor, big business, small business, any business, we need especially business owners to be bombarding these MPs, bombard Dan Andrews, bombard the state government, and let them know that if they don't allow you to open up and earn a living, okay, and re-enable your livelihood, you are going to start suing them for your losses. Okay, this absolutely does have an effect. Now, for the other, many of you watching this that aren't business owners, but you're also out of work because your business or your job has been, put on hold with all these restrictions, you are actually the key to all this, because you guys and girls out there, you're the ones that have the time to make your voice heard. So again, we're urging you all, write to your local MPs, write to your state government, write to Dan Andrews, and just ask some really simple questions. Why is the curfew still in place if it's not based on any medical evidence whatsoever? What other restrictions have been imposed on Victorians, such as being forced to wear face masks, not being allowed 5 kilometres from home, not being able to visit even one other person, all these kinds of things that are also not based on any actual medical advice. Okay, sure, Andrew says, it's to restrict movement. Okay, but that in and of itself is an admission, okay, that he is breaching our human rights. We have a God-given right to travel freely about the planet. So where's the medical evidence that's simply restricting movement rather than something specific? Absolutely. If he said he wanted to restrict movement in and out of hospitals, if he said he wanted to restrict movement in and out of aged care facilities, yes, absolutely, that would make sense. But this whole blanket concept of just restrict movement, okay, where is that basis that it's got any reduction in the spreading of this virus at all? And let's not forget that 99% of people who get this virus fully recover from it. Okay, I remember seeing a post that was doing the rounds on Facebook a few weeks ago, and it said, if there was a 1% chance of rain, would you still carry an umbrella around? Okay, of course not. So given that there's such a small chance of anybody catching this virus, let alone dying from it, why are there such harsh restrictions and impositions being placed on people? Another great question is, how is it that the police can stand shoulder to shoulder for hours on end, like at the Shrine in Victoria and other places around Australia on the weekend, but protesters can't? Okay, if the protesters are socially distancing, if the protesters are wearing masks, what exactly is the issue? Okay, surely if it's safe for police, and we know it's safe for police because they've been in close contact with people, they've been arresting people, they've been walking into known positive cases, the homes of people who have known positive cases just to check that they're home. Okay, so they've been doing all of this. There hasn't been a single reported case of a police officer dying from this or even getting COVID at all. So clearly the measures that they're implementing are safe. So if they're safe for them, why aren't they safe for everybody else? Okay, please, we urge you, go and ask your leaders some of these really basic fundamental questions. Now, speaking of protests, okay, I've heard that there's more protests being organised for this coming weekend, especially here in Melbourne. So again, I'm going to say tonight the same thing that I said last Thursday night. Okay, if Andrews is overthrown tomorrow, Friday, okay, and new plans are announced to reopen the state, there should be absolutely no reason for anyone to protest. No one will want to protest because everyone will be happy that things are moving forwards again. Okay, but of course if that doesn't happen and Victorians are faced with the reality of Dan Andrews' completely unrealistic mud map for recovery, then I wouldn't be surprised at all if people took to the streets and protested on this coming weekend. Now, in fact, when you consider some of the following, I wouldn't be surprised if there was even more people, okay, this weekend than last weekend, because firstly, last weekend people were expecting their leader to give them some definitive answers, some assurance that their lives and their livelihoods could be restored, but all Andrews did was give a bunch of completely unrealistic, targets that had to be met that aren't even being met in other states. Right, secondly, although there were indeed some arrests in Melbourne last week, okay, that only happened to the absolute minority. Okay, and from what I've heard, speaking to people are realising that they've got about as much chance of being arrested as they do of catching COVID-19. Okay, so they're prepared to take that chance. Okay, very, very minimal. Thirdly, our recent video updates have been viewed 20,000, 40,000, even 60,000 times in just 1 week. That's our last 3 videos. Now, some of the older ones have been viewed even more than that. People are finally starting to get their head around all of the legislation that we outline on those videos. Plenty of people are taking the next step too, okay? And of course, they're grabbing these books, they're grabbing the Know Your Rights book, they're grabbing the Aussie Speeding Fines book, they're learning about their rights, they're learning how simple it is to challenge these ridiculous, unjust and unlawful fines, and they're understanding that there really is nothing to worry about. Again, if you want these, have a look, there's links in the description, and just go to the websites and find those. But people are realising, okay, that the information in those books is enough to get off any fines, to defend any charges if you're arrested or anything like that. So it's got no hold or power over them anymore, this threat. Okay, and that's so liberating and so freeing, and it's really incredibly empowering for those people. And that's the one thing that I really can't express through these videos. But all you need to do is jump on Facebook, have a look at some of the testimonials that are on the different websites. And that's the same thing you'll get again and again and again. Oh my God, I wish I knew about you guys earlier. Oh my God, I feel so empowered. I feel so confident. I feel like I can take a stand for myself. And this is the stuff that we want all of you out there feeling. Okay, and finally, it's really great news that the police themselves, it seems, are finally starting to wake up to the fact that they can and will be sued personally when they act outside of the law. Just believing something is a lawful directive does not make it so. And given what's come out in the last week, okay, for example, with all these curfew fines, they're never going to hold up in court. So what else is going to come out over the coming weeks that the police are going to realise, oh my God, we've been acting on directives that just weren't lawful. They're going to be hopefully thinking twice or even 3 times as the truth about this whole debacle starts coming out. So again, I'm not in any way, shape or form inciting anyone or encouraging anyone to take any action other than Tim Palace, absolutely, you go. Okay, take over and confirm these rumours. Okay, but if other people out there watching this are inclined to attend the protest this weekend, if there's any need for them to go ahead, okay, please watch our videos, read our books, and learn about your rights. So I'm going to leave things there tonight. Some of my videos have gone on for like 20-25 minutes. These are really supposed to be short and sharp. A lot of people also go, oh, Mike talks so fast I can't write everything down. Again, that's because they're supposed to be short, sharp, hard-hitting videos. Please understand, all of our videos can be reviewed as many times as you like. Just go to our Facebook page, not to our group, the Know Your Rights Facebook page. Click on the videos tab and you'll find all of our videos listed there. If you can't find them there, go to our YouTube channel, okay, and just do a search for Know Your Rights Group channel, and they're all listed there by date. Okay, so very easy to review these videos, sit down and scribble out all the legislation and everything that I cover. Now we'll wait to see what the next 24 to 48 hours brings. Hopefully some really dramatic, positive change. And as we embark on yet another weekend of significant lockdowns here in Victoria and not insignificant restrictions in other states as well, we urge everyone, as always, to please get informed, get fired up, and get proactive. And of course, one of the best ways to do that is through these books. And just a reminder that you can get all 3 books in various combo packs. Again, there's a link in the description on this video. Otherwise, just go to knowyourrightsgroup.com.au, click on the ebook tab, and you'll find all the information about these in there. So, let's see what happens over the next 24 to 48 hours. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you all again, hopefully with some more exciting news on Sunday night.